Hey everybody, this is Mark Johnson, your fitness ambassador from Bounce Pep and the youngest son of Bill Johnson, as always, every time. Now, I want you to hit the like button, please, and also hit the bell icon so that you receive notifications when we release new videos, and also download your copy of Be the Total Package. That is the ebook that I wrote for you, the high achiever who wants to get fit and stay fit and get over the mental blocks that they have in their head that are preventing them from doing so. So go ahead and get that book now and learn everything that it has to offer. Now, with that said, I want to talk to you today about the 80-20 rule. And I think you've probably heard of this before. Most people have heard of it. It basically just says that 80% of your results come from 20% of the effort. Generally speaking, this is something that holds up to real life examples, real life case studies. An Italian guy named Pareto was the one who came up with the notion of 80-20. And generally speaking, it is true. It's not necessarily exactly 80-20 all the time, but somewhere in that ballpark, you'll find that a minimum of the effort is contributing a disproportionate amount of the results that you see. Now, what does this have to do with you? I want to encourage you to focus on principles when you're working out, more so than getting down granularly into a lot of tiny details that produce diminishing returns. Okay? There's nothing necessarily wrong with getting into details. Just understand that it produces diminishing returns. So for example, when you're eating a certain way, counting the calories, right down to the calorie, or counting the number of grams of protein, right down to the single gram, in my opinion, it's not necessarily. I think what you want to do is go for the correct proportions, okay? Because counting everything so minutely takes a lot of time, and it doesn't really produce the outsized result that you're looking for. So stick with the correct proportions more so than anything. It's going to save you time. It's going to produce most of the result that you want. That also goes for when you're working out. It's not only about diet. It's when you're working out, you don't have to lift exactly a certain amount of weight or do exactly a certain amount of reps every single time. It's really not that vital that you be so rigid. But what you do want to do is stick with the right proportions, stick with the right parameters, okay, and the right principles. And as long as you do that, you will see most of your gains will come from doing that, from just sticking to the right principles, the right broad parameters. And then when you want to produce really, really detailed, minute results, you can go more granularly and try to get more exacting. But generally speaking, for most people, it's not really necessary unless you're like a bodybuilder or an athlete or somebody who really, really needs to find every little tiny edge that they can get. And they have a specific reason for really counting calories down to the smallest detail, counting grams down to the smallest detail. It's not really necessary for most people. So I just want you to understand that really the principles and the proportions of what you're doing are really what is most important. And you're going to see most of the return on your effort from just getting those things correct. Okay, so take that with you. You don't have to be so anal and so paranoid about getting everything perfect all the time. It doesn't have to be perfect and granular all the time. You can just get the broad framework correct, and that will produce the results that you need. There you go.